90. So, Shloka number 90, 91. 91 vandu Manikya Tarani Nilayam Madhye Tasya Madaruna Kapolam Amruteshi Tyabhidanam Antakalayami Varunim Devim. So, here again, so several avaranas, several enclosures surrounding the Chintamani Griha are being explained here. Now we are in between Manas Avarana and Buddhi Avarana. So that is what in Shloka number 89 and 90, Manomaya Pragukta Sankhya Yojana Dure Pranamami Buddhimaya Salam. So Buddhi is that. Manomaya has already been described. In Shloka number 89, Buddhimaya Avarana, a huge wall that is made up of Buddhi, intellect. So these are, as we go inside, things will get even more and more subtle. We just have to imagine, we just have to meditate that Avarana which is made up of Buddhi. And in Shloka number 90, what is there in between the Manomaya and the Buddhimaya enclosure was being described. Kadambari Nidhanam Kalayami Antavapikam Kalayami Anandavapikam Tasyam Shonashma Nivaha Nirmita Sopana Shreni Shobhamana Tatim. It says there is a huge Vapi. Vapi you can imagine as a well. Vellu vachikalam. Koopam, Vapi, Tata, Koopam, all these things are water bodies. So you can imagine as a well, or you can imagine as a big pond. We imagine the pond. So in between these two, Manomaya and Buddhimaya Avarana, there is a huge pond. And that pond, the steps that leads to the pond, it is made up of precious red stones. Steps that leads to the pond, it is made up of precious red color stone, precious red gems. And what is filled in the pond? It is called as Madhu. Madhu is filled in the pond. Now the question comes, what is Madhu? Normally, when we say Madhu, in recent times, the word Madhu has got a bad connotation as alcohol. But previously it is not so. Honey is called as Madhu. Honey is called as Madhu because when you ingest honey, it gives you a lot of ananda. Nama teen kudichonna namakku anandam varudhu. Adanala honey is called as Madhu. In fact, Brahman is called as Madhu. There is a Vidya called as Brahma. There is a Vidya called as Madhu Vidya. I think it comes in Chandogya Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, in several Upanishads, several upasanas will be dealt about. Those upasanas are called as Vidyas. Vidya, it gives you since it gives you a knowledge about Brahman, those upasanas are called as, they have got a special name called as Vidya. Nama Shri Vidya because Shri Vidya is an upasana marga that leads you directly to Brahman. That is why we call this marga as Shri Vidya. In the same way, in the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a Vidya called as Madhu Vidya. And what does Madhu Vidya lead? Madhu Vidya will tell, imagine everything as Madhu. Meaning what? The sun is Madhu, earth is Madhu, everything that surrounds you is Madhu, meaning everything that surrounds you is that Brahma Vastu itself. Why? Brahma vidapnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Because Upanishad says the one who has obtained Brahman, he has obtained the greatest of the greatest thing, Brahma vid apnoti param. Because when we drink honey, it gives you pleasure. Honey is called as Madhu. In the same way, because when we obtain that Brahma Vastu, we get a lot of pleasure. In fact, we ourselves understand that we are the source of pleasure. That is why Brahmavastu itself is called as Madhu. So Madhu does not mean what we currently mean. It means those things that gives you pleasure, those things that gives you bliss, those things that gives you happiness is called as Madhu. So maybe, in that huge pond, there is some fluid. All these things are imagination, right? So all these things are meditate. It is only, things are there. We can only imagine. We cannot see everything with our subtle eyes. So, that liquid called as Madhu is filled in that pond. And in that pond, Varuni Devi is there. Manikya Tarani Nilayam Madhye Tasya Madaruna Kapolam Amruteshityabhidinam Antakalayami Varunim Devim. In that pond, there is a huge boat. There is a huge boat, and that boat is made up of manikam, emerald stone. Huge boat made up of emerald stone, and in that stone, there is a Devi called as Amruteshi. Amrita means what? What is Amrita? Amrita is that one which prevents you from dying. Mrita means death. Amrita, that one which will prevent you from the death, is called as Amrita. Means what? Jnanam. Jnanam is the real Amrita. Because Jnani does not have any death. He will understand that all those death, birth, all these vyavaharas are only for the body, but for the Atman, which is the real self, there is no birth, there is no death. So that person who has got a Jnanam, he has won over the death, apparently. As it were. So, Amruteshi means what? Remember, whatever that is surrounding, it is Madhu, means Brahmavastu, and that Devi is also called as Amruteshi. You can imagine, some kind of Atma Jnana. This Devi will lead to Atma Jnana. That is what it says. And this Devi is a Varuni Devi. Varuni Madavihvalaye Namaha. Lalita Sahasranamathile varudhu. So this Devi is Varuni Devi, and she is also called as Amruteshi. And in the next shloka, the surrounding Devis are being mentioned. Sauvarna ke nipatana hastaha saundarya garvita devyaha tat purataha sthiti bhajaha vitarantu asmakam ayusho vriddhim. Surrounding that Varuni Devi, surrounding that Amruteshi Devi, if boat is there, then somebody has to sail the boat, right? So all the devotees of that, all the Shaktis of that Varuni Devi is present on the outskirts of that boat, and they have, when you want to propel a boat, you need to have, and the tudupum Tamil, you need to have that, you need to have something to propel that boat, right? They all have golden propeller with which they can golden row this thing to propel that boat, and all those Devis are there. And what is the prarthana here? The prarthana here is called as Ayusho Vriddhim. Let those Devis give me lot of Ayuhu. Ayuhu means what? Give me long life. Amruteshi, Amritam gives you long life. And what is the prarthana? The prarthana also, let that give me long life. That is the prarthana. There is a mantra called as Trisuparna mantra. The mantra is called as Trisuparnam. And in, normally you have to chant this mantra before taking food. Before taking food. In our Sanatana Dharma, everything is a prayer. Eating food is not a secular activity. Eating food itself is a sacred activity. If we see even brushing teeth, there is a mantra. We have to pray to the brush. Hey, brush, I am using you to clean my teeth. Please give me a lot of healthy life, because brushing teeth, it is a part of your hygiene. It is a part of health process, right? So all those things are a sacred activity. In the same way, eating food is also a sacred activity. And when we eat food, the suktam called as Trisuparna Suktam or Trisuparna Mantra will be chanted. And what does that mantra say? Brahma me tumam, madhu me tumam, Brahma meva madhu me tumam. Let me get the Brahman. The food that I am going to eat, because of that food, let me be healthy. And I don't waste my health. Let that health not be wasted, but I spend the time in learning about Brahman, Brahma me tumam, and Madhu me tumam, Madhu. Madhu also is Brahman, which gives me lot of pleasure. The third line, Brahmameva madhume tumam. Let that Brahman be sweet to me. Let that Brahman come to me as Madhu. Means what? Let that Brahman be sweet to me. The mantra is a big mantra, but this mantra we might have heard. Madhuvatarta yate madhuksharanti sindhavaha madhvirnasvantoshadhihi madhunakta mutoshasi madhumatparthi gumrajaha madhudyaurastunah pita madhumanno vanaspatir madhumagum astu suryaha madhvirgavo bhavantunaha madhu madhu madhu. அப்படின்னு நேவேத்தியம், சுவாமிக்கு நேவேத்தியம் பண்றப்பெல்லாம் இந்த இந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை மதுவாதாருதாயதே அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்லுவா. What does that prayer? You are eating, you are in front of the food. Food is called as madhu because it goes inside you and then it gives you lot of health. It also prevents you from dying. So in some terms, food is also called as amritam. But not all food are healthy, right? Because only some foods are healthy. We also have lots of junk food. And here the prarthana says, Madhu Vataritayate. Let that wind that flows, நம்ம காத்தடிக்கிறதுலயே ஒரு சில காத்து நல்ல காத்தும். Some wind will give you good health, but there will be some wind that will give you bad health. இந்த வாட காத்து உப்பு காத்துல எல்லாம் நிக்கப்படாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா இல்லையா? So the prayer is Madhu Vata Ritayate. Vata means air. Vata means wind. Let that wind be blissful to me. Let that wind be sweet to me. Let that wind give me lot of good health. Madhu Vata Ritayate. Madhuksharanti Sindhavaha. Sindhavaha means rivers. நம்ம சொல்றோம் ரிவர் பொல்யூஷன் ஆயிடுத்து, அந்த ரிவர்ல குளிச்சாலே வியாதி வருது அப்படின்லாம் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? The prayer is that if I go take bath in a river, I eat this food. When I eat this food, I'm going to be in the midst of river, in the midst of air, right? So whatever I get after eating this food, let that be good to you. Madhuksharanti sindhavaha. Let all those rivers be blissful to me. Let all those rivers be sweet to me. Madhuksharanti sindhavaha madhvirnasvantoshadhihi. If we read this sukta, it has got lots of profound meaning. Madhvir nahasamtu oshadhihi. Oshadhi means herbs. Oshadhi means medicines. Nowadays we see தலைவலிக்கு மருந்து சாப்பிட்டா it is going to give you stomach pain as a side effect. I eat some medicine for my headache. Headache will be cured, but that medicine is going to give me stomachache. If I eat some medicine for my stomachache will be cured, but that is going to give me some other lots of side effects. Right? So all the medicines that we eat, they all have a lot of side effects. Here the prayer is Madhvir nasvantu oshadhihi. Let that oshadhi, let the medicines that I take will be blissful to me. will be sweet to me means what? Medicine will always be blissful. If I take medicine, my health is going to be cured. My problem is going to be cured. But the prayer is that let there be no side effects. Madhvi nasantoshadihi madhunakta mudoshasi madhumat parthivagum rajaha. You know, all the things, day and night, whatever things that I get, let that be blissful to me. Madhu naktam udoshasihi madhumat parthivagum rajaha madhu dhyaurastu pita madhumanno vanaspatihi. Let all those things be, let whatever that grows in the earth, that is called as vanaspati. Vanaspati nama daldanu nama sollidrom, but vanaspatihi means all those plants. தெரியாதனமா எதையாவது சாப்பிட்டு நமக்கு ஃபுட் பாய்சன்லாம் வருது இல்லையா? Let all those things that grows on this earth, let all those things be good to me. Let all those things blissful to me, be sweet to me, be blissful to me. Madhumanno vanaspatihi madhumagum astu suryaha. Even the sun god, let that sun god be blissful to me. Let that sun god be sweet to me. Suryanta pona skin cancer varudilla appalam bayamurthra இல்லையா? If we pray all these things, we will not get all those problems. UV rays varudhu, skin cancer varudhu. You need to apply lot of அந்த sun protection cream எல்லாம் போட்டுக்கணும். வெளியில போனாலாம் இப்பெல்லாம் கலப்பி விட்டு இருக்கா. But sun was there for a lot of times. Human beings were there for a lot of times. But because we forgot all these prayers, we are getting all those side effects. But the prayer is that let that sun god be madhu to me, be blissful to me. Madhvir gavaha bhavantunaha. Let all those cows bring the blissful to me. Let all those cows be madhu to me. Let all those cows be sweetful to me. That is the prayer. I just want to notice the connection between Madhu, Varuni Devi, and what is the prayer that we are saying. The prayer that we are saying is that I pray to that Varuni Devi because I want good health. Ayusho vruddhim vitarantu asmakam ayusho vruddhim. You hear asmakamnu solrom. Asmakamna, I am not praying only to me. I am also praying for all of my near and dear. Vitaramtu asmakam ayusho vruddhim. Let that Varuni Devi, let that Amruteshi Devi give the real madhu, give the real amrutam to all of us. That is the prayer in Shloka number 92. In Shloka number 93, the next enclosure is being described. Tasya prishadascha yodana dure ahankara salamati tungam vande tayoscha madhye kakshyam valamanam valamana malaya pavamanam. In between, after the buddhi enclosure, what comes after buddhi? Mano buddhi ahankara, right? So after buddhi, there is going to be an enclosure that is made up of ahankara, and in between that enclosure, valamana malaya pavamanam. Pavamana means air. There is going to be a nice place where nice air, nice wind, cool breeze flows through. And who is present in that space? That is being explained in Shloka number 94, 95 and 96. Vinumo vimarshavapim saushumna sudhaswarupinim tatra velati langhya vichi kolahala bharita kula vanavatim. In between these two enclosures, that is buddhi and ahankara, there is going to be a vapi. Again, there is going to be a water. There is going to be a waterfront. And what is the water that is present here? It says saushumra sudhaswarupinim tatra. Here we have to see a little bit of Sri Vidya Upasana. The Sri Vidya Upasana says Kundalini is present in the Mooladhara. In Mooladhara chakra, Kundalini is present, and by doing Upasana, you have to awaken the Kundalini Shakti, and the Kundalini Shakti, it has to go through 6 chakras, Shat Chakra Bheda. It has to go through all the 6 chakras, and it has to go to the Sahasrara Chakra. In Sahasrara Chakra, Parameshwara is there. Ambal is present in everybody's body as Kundalini. Parameshwara is present in everybody's Sahasrara Chakra. When Ambal reaches Sahasrara Chakra, when Kundalini Shakti reaches Sahasrara Chakra, there is going to be an Amritam that will be made in the Sahasrara Chakra. Yogic says you can even taste that Amritam. Sudhamapya Swadhya Pratibhaya Jaramrityu Harini Sudha Sindor Madhye Suravitapi Vati Parivrite Manidvipe Nipo Pavanavati Chintamani Grihe Shivakare Manje Paramashiva Paryanganelayan Bhajanti Tvam Danyaha Kadichana Chidananda Lahari is the Soundarya Lahari Shloka. There Sudha Sindor Madhye, when Kundalini reaches the Sahasrara Chakra, that Amrita Sudha Sagara Madhyastha, when we are seeing Lalita Sahasranama meaning, there when we saw Sudha Sagara Madhyastha, this was the meaning. Sudha Sagara Madhyastha. So that Sudha also means Amritam. Sudha, that Amritam, that whole well, that whole waterfront is filled with that Amritam, which comes because of Kundalini uniting with Parameshwara. And who is present in between, who is present in that water body? Tatraiva Salila Madhye Tapincha Dala Pancha Sushamabham Shamala Kanchukalasitam Shyama Vita Bimba Dambara Harasyam. In between that water, there is a Devi called as Kurukulla Devi. I said in the last class, as we go inside, as we go near Sri Chakra, all the Devis which are very, very unique for Sri Vidya, only those Devis will be there. Varuni Devi, we have not heard before. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, all these people before, Brahma, Vishnu, Ishvara is there. Varahi, we have heard Dikpalakas, Ajrini Devi, Shankarishini, Charana, Siddha, all these people we have heard, one way or the other. But as we go inside the Ambal's Chintamani Graham, only those Devis which are very, very unique to Sri Vidya Tantra are going to be there. So Kurukulla is the Devi, who is very, very unique to Sri Vidya Tantra. In the last class, Lalita Sahasranama meaning class, we have discussed an Upanishad called as Bhavanopanishad. In the Bhavanopanishad, it says, Varahi Pitrurupa Kurukulla Balidevata Mata. Varahi takes up a fatherly position. Varahi is the father for all the sadhakas, all the Sri Vidya Upasakas. Varahi is like that father which protects everybody, which brings means for living. And Kurukulla is that motherly Shakti. Kurukulla is that maternal Shakti which protects all the sadhakas. So that Kurukulla Devi is present in between the Buddhi and Ahankara enclosure. That is what is said in Shloka number 96, 95, and in Shloka number 96, the description of Kurukulla is being said. Abhugna Masruna Chilli Hasita Yugmachara Karmuka Vilasam Mandasmitanchitamukhim Manimayatadanga Mandita Kapola. Lots of things about Kurukulla Upasana. It is very, very secretive. There is a Nama in Sri Vidya Upasana says Kurukulla Kuleshwari. Kurukulla Ye Namaha. Ambal itself is present in the form of Kurukulla. And even in Bhaskaracharya's Bhashya, he has not written a lot of commentary. He says it has to be only known from your guru. And you go read my Bhashyam on Bhavanopanishad for some more details, he says. But in this shloka, some description of Kurukulla Devi is being said. And how does she look? Kurukulla Devi, she has a nice eyebrow. How does an eyebrow look? There are two curved things, right? That looks like Manmatha's bow. If you take a bow, there is going to be two curved positions. On the top, there is going to be a curve. On the bottom portion, there is going to be a curved thing. And in between, there is going to be a flat surface, right? So Ambal's Kurukulla Devi's eyebrows are as beautiful as the Manmatha's bow. And Ambal is Hasita. Hasita means smile. Hasa, Hasita, it means smile. Hasita Yugmachara Karmuka Vilasam. Ambal, she has her face is so beautiful, enlightened by her smile. Mandasmitanchita Mukim, Manimaya Tadanga Kapola, Mandasmitanchita Mukim, Mandasmita smile. Ambal's face is being enlightened by her smile. Manimaya Tadanga Mandita Kapola, Ambal's Kapola. Ambal's Kapola means cheek. Ambal's cheek, it reflects Ambal's Tadanga. Ambal is wearing a Tadanga. Tadanga means earrings, right? Tod. And that tod is being reflected by Ambal's cheek. So much beautiful face Ambal has got. That is what is told in Shloka number 96. Even more description of Ambal Kurukulla Devi is going to come in later shlokas. But we will finish up to this. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.